Hello students, I am your master, Mr.Shaikh.Mohammed.Zubair. Today, in history, we shall study chapter 9, the Maratha War of Independence. Introduction. After the death of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, the Marathas fought with great valor with the Mughals under the leadership of Chhatrapati Sambaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, and Maharani Tarabai to protect the Swaraj. This long war that lasted for 27 years is called the Maratha War of Independence. In 1682 CE, Emperor Aurangzeb himself led the invasion of South. Even then, despite enormous difficulties, the Marathas emerged victorious in this struggle. This war is an exciting and glorious period in the history of India. In this chapter, we shall learn about this war of independence. Let's learn about Chhatrapati Sambaji Maharaj. Sambaji Maharaj was the eldest son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He was born on 14th of May in the year 1657 on the Purandar Fort. After Shivaji Maharaj, he became the Chhatrapati. At this time, the Marathas were battling against the Mughals. During the same period, Emperor Aurangzeb's son Shahjada Akbar rebelled against his father. The emperor crushed his rebellion. Then Akbar came to the Deccan to take shelter with Sambaji Maharaj. Then the emperor himself descended on the south in 1682 CE to vanquish Akbar. He had with him a huge army and a powerful artillery. He asked the Siddhi of Janjira to undertake an expedition against the Marathas. He also won over the Portuguese to his side. Consequently, Sambaji Maharaj had to face many adversaries at one and the same time. The reign of Sambaji Maharaj marks the first chapter of the Maratha War of Independence after Shivaji Maharaj. Shivaji Maharaj had given him excellent education in civil administration and military campaigns. Sambaji Maharaj had begun to take interest in the administration of the state and the command of the army from the age of 14 years. While he was still a prince, he had led attacks on many territories of the Mughals and the Adil Shah. Then French traveller Abbe Carey says about his battle skills, "Even though the prince is young, he is courageous and brave like his father was famous for." When Sambaji Maharaj became Chhatrapati, the war with the Mughals became fiercer. Aurangzeb wanted to occupy regions from Kabul to Kanyakumari and create a grand unified Mughal empire. His dream was to destroy the Maratha state completely using his military and financial prowess. But Sambaji Maharaj shattered his dreams with his bravery and military skills. Troops of the Maratha army attacked many of the Mughal territories. Though the emperor's generals tried very hard for a long time, they couldn't win the Maratha fort of Ramsej near Nashik. Thus, Sambaji Maharaja's valor brought Aurangzeb to his knees. Once he removed his turban in frustration and threw it on the floor. He made a vow that until he vanquished Sambhaji, he would not wear his turban. Sambaji Maharaj had rendered Aurangzeb helpless to this extent. Now let's study about the campaign against the Siddhi. The Siddhi of Janjira used to harass the people in the Maratha territory. He used to raid, burn, and loot the Maratha territory and commit atrocities. Sabhasad has described him as a rat in the house. Sambaji Maharaj started a campaign against him in 1682 CE. His army laid a siege to Siddhi Dandarajpuri fort and battered the fort of Janjira with the artillery. But at the same time, the Mughal army invaded Swaraj. Sambaji Maharaj had to abandon the Janjira campaign and turn back. Now we will study about the campaign against the Portuguese. The Portuguese of Goa joined hands with the emperor against Sambaji Maharaj. So, Sambaji Maharaj decided to teach lesson to the Portuguese. He attacked the Revdanda fort of the Portuguese in 1683 CE. To counter this, the Portuguese laid a siege to the Fonda fort of the Marathas on the Goa border. The Marathas broke through the siege and attacked Goa. In this battle, Yesaji Kank showed great valor. Portuguese governor got wounded and retreated. Sambaji Maharaj followed him. The Portuguese were in deep trouble. At this time, Sambaji Maharaj got the news that the Mughals had attacked South Konkan. Therefore, he had to abandon the winning campaign of Goa and return to fight with the Mughals. Let's learn about the end of Adil Shahi and Qutub Shahi. Aurangzeb did not succeed in his campaign against the Marathas. Therefore, he suspended that campaign. Then he turned towards the kingdoms of Adil Shah and Qutub Shah and conquered them. The wealth and army of both the kingdoms was now acquired by the Mughals, and it made Aurangzeb even stronger. Then he concentrated all his might on defeating the Marathas. He attacked their territory from all sides. The Maratha army general Hambi Rao Mohite got killed during an encounter with the Mughal army. Due to this blow, the military strength of Sambaji Maharaj was weakened. Now we'll study about the administration of Sambaji Maharaj. Even though Sambaji Maharaj was busy fighting on various battlefronts, he did not ignore his administrative responsibilities. He continued the prompt justice and revenue system, which was a characteristic of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaja's era. He severely punished the landlords who harassed common people and who rebelled against the Swaraj. He gave administrative powers to Maharani Yasubai. He gave her her own stamp. He continued the legacy of Shivaji Maharaja's welfare policies. Sambaji Maharaj knew Sanskrit and many other languages as well. He studied many ancient books on polity and wrote their gist in a book called Budh Bhushanam. Let's learn about the death of Sambaji Maharaj. Aurangzeb was trying very hard to defeat Sambaji Maharaj. He had placed Mukarrab Khan in charge of the Kolhapur province. Mukarrab learnt that Sambaji Maharaj was at Sangameshwar in Konkan. He raided the place and captured Sambaji Maharaj. When Sambaji Maharaj was taken to the emperor, he faced him fearlessly. By the emperor's orders, he was brutally put to death on 11th of March in the year 1689. This Maratha Chhatrapati did not compromise his self-respect and faced his death nobly and bravely. The Marathas took inspiration from his sacrifice and intensified their fight against the Mughals. Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj. Rajaram Maharaj was the second son of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He was born on 24th of May in the year 1670 on Raigarh. He became Chhatrapati after the death of Sambaji Maharaj. Now, Aurangzeb thought that this dream of winning the Maratha kingdom would be realized. He sent Zulfikar Khan to put Raigarh under siege. That time, Rajaram Maharaj and his wife Maharani Tarabai and Sambaji Maharaj's wife Maharani Yasubai and his son Shahu were on Raigarh. It was risky for all members of the royal family to stay at one place. Maharani Yasubai tackled this unprecedented calamity very bravely, resolving that she would not surrender to the Mughals under any conditions. She took many important political decisions on Raigarh. It was decided that Rajaram Maharaj should escape from Raigarh and, if necessary, go to a far-off place like Jinji. It was decided that the fight to defend Raigarh would continue under the leadership of Maharani Yasubai. Maharani Yasubai chose to make Rajaram Maharaj and not her own son the Chhatrapati. Her decision is a shining example of a love for Swaraj and her extreme selflessness. She kept the Maratha Chhatrapati secure without regard for her own life or that of her son. Rajaram Maharaj leaves for Jinji. On 5th April 1689, Rajaram Maharaj escaped from the besieged Raigarh with a few of his associates. He decided to go south to Jinji. The Jinji fort was invincible. It was not an easy task for the Mughals to capture this fort. Rajaram Maharaj took these faithful Sardars like Prahlad Niraji, Khando Balal, Rupaji Bhosle and managed to reach Jinji. We will now study about the movements of the Marathas. It was difficult to defend the Raigarh fort against the might of the Mughals. The Mughals captured Raigarh in November 1689 and arrested Maharani Yasubai and Shahu. While going to Jinji, Rajaram Maharaj had assigned the duty to fight against the Mughals to Ramchandra Pant Amatya, Shankaraji Narayan Sachiv, Santaji Ghorpade and Dhanaji Jadhav. From the Maratha point of view, the situation was critical. Aurangzeb had enticed many Maratha Sardars to his side by giving them watans and jagirs. Rajaram Maharaj also used the same tactics to thwart the Mughal plans. It was promised that if a Maratha Sardar captured Mughal territory, it would be given to him as a jagir. Due to this promise, many capable Maratha Sardars came forward. They started invading the Mughal territory with vigor and defeated Mughal generals. Santaji and Danaji were at the forefront in these actions. Against their surprise attacks and guerrilla tactics, the enormous amount of war material and heavy artillery of the Mughals were of little use. The Mughal forces were at their wits' end. On one occasion, Santaji Ghorpade and Vithoji Chawan even cut and carried away the golden pinnacle of the emperor's own tent in a surprise attack. We will now study about the siege of Jinji. Once Raigad was captured, the emperor sent Zulfikar Khan to the south on the campaign of Jinji. He laid siege to the fort of Jinji. The Marathas defended their fort bravely for nearly 8 years. The Mughals' forces engaged in the siege were fiercely attacked from outside by Santaji and Dhanaji. Rajaram Maharaj escaped through the siege and returned to Maharashtra. Later, Zulfikar Khan captured the fort of Jinji. The return of Rajaram Maharaj to Maharashtra gave a boost to the Maratha activity. The Marathas attacked the Mughal territories of Khandesh, Varhad and Baglan. Rajaram Maharaj inspired hundreds of brave Maratha warriors like Santaji and Dhanaji with his understanding, nature and statesmanship. He motivated them to protect Swaraj and thus performed a very valuable task. But even as all this was taking place, Rajaram Maharaj died on 2nd of March in the year 1700 on Sinhgarh after a short period of illness. Rajaram Maharaj was thoughtful and kind-hearted. He brought together all the capable people in the Maratha Empire. He united them, created a new enthusiasm amongst them. After the death of Sambaji Maharaj, he fought against Aurangzeb for 11 years with great courage and tenacity. You can say bravery. Rajaram Maharaja's greatest achievement is that he protected Swaraj in those extremely difficult times. While describing Rajaram Maharaj, noted historian Riyasatkar G.S. Sardesai has used the adjective Sthir Buddhi, that means level-headed. He cannot be described in better words than these. Now we will study about Maharani Tarabai. After the death of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, Aurangzeb thought that he had won the war against the Marathas. But it was not so. Aurangzeb was winning battle after battle, but he could not win the war. Maharani Tarabai, the capable wife of Rajaram Maharaj, came forward to lead the Swaraj movement in the extremely unfavorable circumstances. Contemporary Mughal historian Kafi Khan describes Maharani Tarabai as an intelligent and knowledgeable woman. Her management of the army and administration had won renown even during the rule of her husband. After the death of Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj, Maharani Tarabai continued the Swaraj struggle bravely with the help of her Sardars. Aurangzeb captured Satara and Panhala from the Maratha territory, but at the same time, the Marathas dashed up to the Mughal areas of Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. Tarabai expanded the war areas further. Sardars like Krishnaji Sawant, Khanderao Dabhade, Dhanaji Jadhav, and Nemaji Shinde opened battles against Mughals on various fronts outside Maharashtra. This was a sign of change in the outcome of the war. Maharani Tarabai fought for 7 years. She kept the Maratha kingdom strong. She took charge of the administration single-handedly and encouraged the Sardars to participate in the mission of Swaraj. Maratha Sardars fought against the Mughals up to Sironji, Mandsaur and Malwa. Khafi Khan has recorded the Rajaram's wife Tarabai achieved great things and displayed the qualities of leadership of the army and management of campaigns. It added force to the Maratha campaigns. Thus, Maharani Tarabai kept up the legacy of valor inherited from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Due to the forceful campaigns of the Marathas, Aurangzeb was frustrated. The Mughal-Maratha fight had continued for 25 years. In these circumstances, Emperor Aurangzeb died in the year 1707 CE at Ahmednagar. The Maratha War of Independence ended with his death. This Maratha War for Independence was the fight between the Mughal emperor's greed to expand his empire and the spirit of independence of the Marathas. The Marathas emerged victorious in it. After the death of Aurangzeb, they led others in filling the vacuum in the political arena. They controlled the throne of Delhi, ran the affairs of almost all parts of the Hindustan and protected it. Therefore, 18th century is known as the century of the Marathas. In the next chapters, we will see the achievements of the Marathas in that century. Children, this is a short exercise which you are supposed to answer in your history notebooks. Once the school begins, the respective subject teachers will take your books for corrections. Please see to it that you keep your history notebook ready. All the markings in this chapter, which was in red, are all important events, dates, and names. Please do learn it carefully. I hope you have understood the chapter easily by this presentation. Thank you, children, and God bless.